Good day, my dear friends, my dear brothers and sisters. Blessings may be delayed, but never denied. Be patient, for God is working in your prayers. You know what? Never stop believing because miracles happen every day. Nothing can stop God's plan for you. Today, reflect and be blessed. My dear friends, fill your heart with the abundance of God's love and share this good news and let the whole world float in the ocean of God's blessings. Amen. Good day, my dear friends, my dear brothers and sisters. Today is January 14, 2021, and today is Thursday of the first week in Ordinary Time. And our gospel for today is from the account of Mark, chapter 1, verses 40 to 45. You know what, my dear friends, my dear brothers and sisters, I think you heard the story of the gospel today. It speaks about the healing of a man with a leprosy. And you know, leprosy is a very serious skin disease. Once you are infected by it, you are like a walking dead. Once you are infected by it, it's just like you're having infected by COVID-19. To make it like connected in our time nowadays. Once you have it, once you have a leprosy, you are removed from the community and you are considered an outcast. Once you have it, once you are infected by leprosy, you are socially and religiously isolated. And before, nobody wants to be with lepers because being with them is like a suicide. You are like a walking dead. That's why their presence is risky, their presence is very deadly, and it's a threat to the community. Imagine yourself having a leprosy, If you are a leper before, you should put a bell in your waist or something in your body. Put it something in your waist, in your neck, and just to signal people that you are coming, to make noise, to let people aware that, hey, there's a presence of a leprosy here. And that's why once you are a leper, you have to shout from a distance, stay away from me, distance yourselves, because I am a leper, I am unclean, I am unclean. That's why keeping your distance from them is the only safest way to do. Keep away, distance yourselves. But you know what? In today's gospel, Jesus did something extraordinary. And this is what the gospel says, and I quote, "Moved with pity, Jesus stretched out his hands and touched him." You know what? Jesus knew that touching a leper will make him ritually unclean. But his compassion is more powerful than what the law prescribed. He go beyond the law. For Jesus, the greatest law is love. The greatest law is not to isolate people with their leprosy, but to love them, to have compassion with them. And compassion without action is just like walking in a -50 weather naked. It's dead. That's why nowadays, we don't have leprosy issues nowadays, literally speaking. However, countless number of people are suffering from isolation, not because of leprosy, but because of this COVID-19 pandemic. Perhaps, you are one of them, isolated because of the fear of the virus. And I am a victim of it too, Today is my 14th day of isolation. Thanks be to God. I have one more days and then I'm done with my quarantine period. Good number of individuals were ignored, were neglected, were avoided. not because they have leprosy, but because they were, infected by this terrible virus. Many children, and this is the most saddest part. We don't have leprosy, we don't have COVID, but some people try to isolate. Many children wants to be isolated from their parents. Many parents too distance themselves from their parental responsibility. Today, many countless people were isolated because of different reasons. They were isolated perhaps because of anger. They were isolated perhaps because of their pride. They don't have leprosy, they don't have COVID-19, but they were isolated because of their social status. They were isolated because of their political beliefs. They were isolated because of their religious opinions and beliefs. They were isolated perhaps because of their addictions or whatever it is. Many of us were isolated, were quarantined because of our sin. Friends, isolation is the modern leprosy. Isolation is the modern COVID-19. The challenge for us is this. Jesus is challenging us to reach out, to touch the heart of those individuals, especially those who were avoided, those who were neglected, and those who were isolated. Jesus, stretched out his hands. He was moved with compassion. I would like to express my gratitude for all those parishioners I have, who brought me some groceries and foods during my quarantine period. I feel like it's very lonely to be alone. It's very sad being isolated. But when you have someone calling you, phoning you, asking you how are you, it's just like being normal. They stretch out their hands and they make their presence felt. But friends, there's always a tendency in us that we ignore people for whatsoever reasons. Friends, do not be comforted in living a life invisibly. It's not comfortable to be invisible. It's not comfortable to be isolated. It's not comfortable to be quarantined. Today is the right time to approach the one you have been avoided and you have been ignored in your life. Are there people in your life that you ignored? Are there people or family members that you avoid them, that you don't like to see them, that you don't like to be with them? Are there people in your life like that? Friends, as what I've told you in my previous reflections, the cure to so many isolations is compassion. The cure to so many isolation is you have to reach out, to make our presence felt. Today, listen and obey. Because listening without obeying is alarming. And I pray for those people who are still under quarantine quarantine period. Don't worry, all will be well. The suffering will pass away. It's just temporary. Jesus is telling me and you, don't be scared of COVID-19. Don't be scared of leprosy, so to speak. Be scared of people who doesn't care. And today, my dear friends, my dear brothers and sisters, we are asked by Jesus, that we are reminded that the greatest law is love. The greatest law is love. Amen.